It's time for The Pet Show with America's favorite pet expert, Warren Eckstein. Warren is the author of How to Get Your Cat to Do What You Want and How to Get Your Dog to Do What You Want. He's here to answer all your pet and animal questions. And now, Warren Eckstein.
Hey everybody, good morning and welcome to The Pet Show. Is your retriever refusing to retrieve? Are you being harassed by your Himalayan kitten? Does your German Shepherd have you stumped? Well, if you love animals, I'm assuming you do, you're listening to The Pet Show, care about wildlife and the environment, and I want you to learn how to understand your dogs and cats almost as well as they understand you. A lot of people are confused about their dog or cat's behavior. Well, unconfuse it here on The Pet Show. So if you really are confused about your dog or cat's behavior, just want to improve their lifestyle, you know what to do. Stay tuned because once again, right here, right now, it is time for The Pet Show. America's first and only real pet psychology. We delve in there. Pet behavior, pet training, pet lifestyle. We have it all here on The Pet Show. So hop up on my couch. Bring those furry little buddies with you, folks, because it is that time once again to let the animal analyzing begin. Hello, everybody. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is The Pet Show, the place where we absolutely, positively, no doubt about it, love, adore, and as I stress every single week, respect pets and animals as much as you. By the way, if you'd like to join me on the Everyone Pet Show family, and we are growing by leaps and bounds, if you want to find out why your dog is digging, why your dog is barking like crazy, why he pulls you down the block, why he doesn't come back when you call him, why he's humping everything in sight, and your cat refuses to use the litter box, hates that new cat you brought into the household, scratched your favorite chair, pooped on your pillow, and keeps you up all night, that's what I'm here for, to help you resolve any issues you may be having with your pets, and as I said, any issues they may be having with you. And by the way, let me just remind everyone out there, if you're a regular listener to The Pet Show or a new listener to The Pet Show, it makes no difference. Everyone that calls into the show and hasn't called for a while and gets to talk to me live on the air today will be getting an absolutely amazing gift. Don't get excited. You know it's not for you. For that beautiful dog or cat that's alongside of you right now. And I want to share this with you because, you know, we're not giving away milk bones here. Many of the products and items I give away here on the show, thanks to my amazing sponsors, are worth $25, $35, $45, $50, and even more. So everyone who calls in and gets to talk to me live will get a great gift, even if they just answer my question of the day. I guess I should give you the phone number at this point. The phone number here at The Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA. That's 866-870-KRLA. But if you're a numbers person like me, it's 866-870-5752, 866-870-5752. 5752. Great time to give me a call early in the show. You'll probably get through. And as I said, if I get to talk to you live on the air, a great gift will be on its way for your best friend. Again, the phone number, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Let me tell you what I have planned for today's show, but you guys know. Who am I talking to? You guys know there's no way I'm going to get to all of my subjects here. So once again, let me remind you, any subject I don't get to right after the show goes off the air, you can check it out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. All right, let me tell you what's planned for today's show. And this is a question I get all the time. No matter where I go, on the air, I'm doing someone else's show, makes no difference. People often asking about cleaning their dogs and cats' teeth. And this incredible fear they have about their dogs or cats going under anesthesia before the procedure. So the question comes up, Warren, is anesthesia safe for your dogs and cats or not? And you know, so many people refuse to have their dog or cat's teeth because of the fear of anesthesia, which can cause major medical issues for your dog or cat as they get older. So we're going to talk about that a little bit later. If you have questions or comments, give me a call. I'd love to hear from you. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Also coming up on today's show, you know, our dogs have an amazing ability to understand how we're feeling. By the way, that's one of the reasons we have such an incredibly special bond with them. But could it be bad for the dog? You know, everyone looks at it from the other way. But what about our personalities? What about our feelings? What about the dogs loving us? Well, we'll talk about that later. Also coming up, you know, years ago, I was doing a segment on the Today Show. And I was speaking with Matt Lauer and Katie Couric, both gone now. And I said, you know, I have literally seen dogs cry and cats cry. And they immediately sent for the men in the white coats to take me away because they said, it's impossible, Warren. Animals don't cry. Well, a brand new study came out, folks, and we'll talk about it later. So is it possible that your dog is so excited to see you that he or she actually tears up when you get home? Give me a call. Let me know. Have you ever seen a tear in your dog or cat's eye? The phone number, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Or if you prefer, you can watch me do the show live and ask some questions on my YouTube channel. We're here now. We're here now. YouTube.com/Warren Eckstein. YouTube.com/Warren Eckstein. And maybe Willie and Molly, maybe they'll join me a little bit later. They don't usually work on Saturdays, so I'll see how they're feeling coming up a little later. Also, plenty of time to answer all of your pet and animal questions. As I said, lots of great stuff to give away. So if your pet is chewing, jumping, confused about the litter box, not housebroken, poor guy suffering with separation anxiety, your new rescue's depressed, your dog is chasing anything that moves, your dog hates other dogs, cat scratch your favorite chair, and your dog is humping everything in sight, that's why I'm here to help you resolve any issues that you may be having with your pets, and more likely, any issues your pets may be having with you. You know, after doing this for many, many years, more than I want to remember, I got to tell you, I would literally say, this is my statistic, so don't hold me to it, but it's my statistic, that 70 to 80% of behavioral issues I've dealt with, and I've dealt with over 40,000 animals, are created, you know what I'm going to say, not by the pet, created by the family. Let's face it, we're neurotic. One person tells the dog to jump up, the other person tells the dog to get down. One person tells the dog to come, the other person tells the dog to go. It's insane. It's not easy being a pet in today's world. So we're going to talk about that a little bit later. A great time to give me a call. Got lots of stuff to give away. I'll give you a list in a couple of minutes. I added something new. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. 866-870-5752. 866-870-5752. And again, a reminder that these items I give away, I would never be able to do that if it wasn't for my amazing sponsors. Many have been with me for 25, 30 years. And as I said, some of this stuff I'm giving away, I can't believe I can, but I can. It's worth 25, 35, 45, even $50 and above. So it's a great time to call me, even if you just want to answer my question of the day. And here's the question of the day. Am I crazy? That should be the question of the day. Is Warren crazy? We know the answer to that, but here's the question. Do you believe that not only animals can feel sadness, but can tear up? Do you believe that if a dog or cat is either happy or sad, that in some cases they can have tears in their eyes? I believe it. I've seen it. How about you? Give me a call. Let me know. I'd love to hear from you. The phone number, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through to the Pet Show. As I said, plenty of time for your calls. Lots of great stuff to give away on today's show. I don't even know where I want to start today because there's so many important things to talk about that I mentioned a couple of weeks ago. If you're not following me on my YouTube or Facebook, you should be following me. I shared a story about a bunch of dogs dying in Michigan, in Detroit specifically. And, you know, I've done a lot of work in Detroit, heard in Detroit, and no one was able to kind of pinpoint specifically what it was, just that over 40 dogs have died. 40 dogs have died in a specific area. And it just came out last night that, I don't know why it took so long, but it did. It just came out last night that this problem that all these dogs were dying from was the dreaded parvovirus. And you know, and there is a preventative parvo shot. You know, my dogs both have them. So it's something you may want to consider talking to your veterinarian about. Because parvo, and I remember years ago there was the parvovirus, and after the parvovirus there was the coronavirus, and I was working as a peace officer back then and doing a lot of training, and I was in and out of shelters, and dogs were dying left and right, litters of puppies were dying like crazy. So it's something you should take very seriously. You want to speak to your veterinarian about parvo, but that's what was causing all these dogs to die in Detroit, Michigan. Let's hope we don't have that problem here as well. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number, 866-870-5752. Before I get to the phones, let me just remind everyone, it's hot outside. Do I got to tell you that? Once again, I was walking down on Santa Monica Beach where I live, and there I saw people 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, running with their dogs, bicycling with their dogs. Their dogs' tongues are hanging out. Many of the dogs had pushed-in faces. A lot of, it's a lot of French bulldogs in Santa Monica. French bulldogs, mastiffs. Doesn't make any difference. If it's hot outside, you shouldn't be running with your dog, especially on concrete. If it's hot for you, imagine the concrete. And the heat comes off the concrete and comes up to just perfect height for the dog. Please, it's hot outside. Exercise your dogs in the morning or when the sun goes down, not when it's hot during the day. It could be very detrimental. Remember, dogs don't really sweat the way we do. Dogs only have sweat glands on the bottom of their pads, and they're not really that great. So when you see your dog's tongue hanging out, he's panting. Why does the dog pant? They have thousands of blood vessels on their tongue. And by panting, what they're doing is letting the air go over their tongue, cooling them. If you're smart enough, your dog won't have to pant. You keep them cool enough all the time. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number, 866-870-5752. Where are we going right now? Let's go to Oxnard and Daniel. Hey, Daniel, welcome to the Pet Show.
That they have them neutered, and one of the cats, his testicles didn't drop, and so they said I have to bring him back in 4 months.
So he's what they called, in other words, but neither one of the testicles dropped down. So it's crypto. In other words, both testicles were up there. So it's cryptorch is what we call it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, of course, your vet would prefer to neuter him when the testicles were dropped down. So I'm agreeing with your vet 100% there.
Okay, but if they don't drop, do they have to do surgery or?
Well, it depends on the vet you're dealing with. How old is the kitten?
The kitten is about 8 months old.
8 months old, and they still haven't dropped. Interesting. That's a conversation you're going to have with your vet. I want you to do all the testing and everything else.
Well,
but
I took them. I went to the vet the other day, and they said I'm sorry, they're 4 months old. So they said bring them back in 4 months.
Okay, so in other words, they want to give it another 4 months to see if the testicles descend by themselves. I'll go with that. I think your vets are pretty much on target with that. They're not going to neuter a dog that has undescended testicles.
Okay, but my question is now, what if they don't drop? Then are they going to do surgery on him?
I'm not sure. That's more of a medical question you have to run through with your veterinarian.
Okay.
But it's a great question, and I'm so glad that your concern is getting the kitten neutered. But it's not uncommon. I worked with so many dogs that were cryptorchid or monorchid over the years. One testicle didn't descend, one did, and neither one descended. So I would have that conversation with your veterinarian, but definitely follow his advice on the neutering.
They're indoor cats. They don't go outside.
That's the way they should be. They should be indoor cats as far as I'm concerned. Now, how many cats do you have there, Daniel? It sounds like you got more than one.
Two. I got 2 kittens.
2 kittens. Oh, well, hope you're getting a lot of things. So, Dan, you know what I'm going to do? You got 2 kittens in your household. Bless you for call your vet and see, go again. You ask him that same question. If the testicles don't descend by the time they're 8 months old, are we going to have to talk about surgery? And then I would also get a second opinion. Anyway, don't go anywhere.
The vet wants me to bring him back in 4 months.
Perfect. Anyway, in the meantime, don't go anywhere. I'm putting you on hold. I'm sending you a copy of How to Get Your Cat to Do What You Want, 2 4-month-old kittens. Believe me, you can use that book. Hey, great time to give me a call. The phone number 866-870-KRLA. Let me tell you what I'm giving away on today's show. I'll be giving away my own Hugs and Kisses vitamin mineral supplement treats for dogs or cats. On top of that, I'll be giving away Arthrosuit Gold, probably one of the better products on the market for dogs and cats that have hip and joint problems. I'll be giving away copies of both of my best-selling books. I just gave one away on cats. I also have my book on dogs. Hemp seed oil by an incredible company called NatureVet, made right here in Southern California. Lots of great Lucy pet products, including Lucy's Kitty Lickies. I'll be giving some Kitty Lickies away on this show. Those amazing T-shirts that say "None of my friends walk upright." And brand new to the show, I'm going to be giving away all-natural herbal flea spray. That's right, all-natural herbal flea spray. So lots of great gifts, plenty of time to call me, even if you just want to answer my question of the day. Do you believe that animals can cry? That phone number, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through. Let me take a quick break, then right back to your phone calls, 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. And we are back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. Ugly dog. I've never seen anybody out there. I've never seen an ugly dog. I've never seen an ugly dog. You know why? Because I look from the inside out, not from the outside in. Hey, just before I get back to the phones, and by the way, if you want to ask some questions, I'll take some questions on my YouTube channel as well. It's youtube.com/Warren Eckstein, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. I'll take some YouTube questions if you want to ask over there as well as give me a call. The phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA. I do have open line or two, 866-870-5752. Before we get to the phones and back to the phones, and by the way, I got some great stuff to give away on the show. If you have kids going back to school, it's absolutely essential to consider how the new norm will affect your dogs and cats. These kids have been the pet's companion for the entire summer. Let me change that. For the last 3 years, these dogs and cats have been your kids' companion. With homeschooling and the schools being closed down for whatever reasons, the kids have been pets' companion for a long time, enjoying extended family time and basking in their presence. Suddenly, leaving your dogs and cats at home alone can be upsetting to them, but it also exposes them to depression and separation anxiety. So what do? Quit school? No. I've always said this. It's not the quantity of time you spend with your dog or cat that's important. It's the quality of time that you do. So what I recommend that you do, well, hopefully that you will exercise the dogs more, stimulate them mentally a lot more, take them on more outings, give the kids when they come home from school the opportunity to reestablish with their dogs or their cats. It's important. Remember now, normally I've talked about this for years. You know, what happens when the kids have been off for the entire summer and then went back to school? What would go on? Well, the problem here is, the situation here is a little bit different. They've been off from school for almost 3 years. Is that what it is? 3 years. And now the summer on top of that? So please, if you have a dog or cat at home and you notice changes in their behavior, be aware. It's not their fault. Everything around them is changing. Everyone's gone. Mom and dad going back to work. Kids going back to school. Soccer practice. It's insane. Take them into consideration as well. Phone number here, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through. The question of the day is, do you believe, like I do you believe that animals can cry or at least tear up? Do you believe that they can cry? I don't know why humans have such incredible egos. We're the only ones that can be sad. We're the only ones that cry. One of the things about dogs and tears, though, let me just share this with you, is that when a dog tears up, the tears don't drop. So you'll see the tearing in the eyes, but not necessarily the tearing dripping along the side. So next time you think maybe your dog is sad or happy to see you, look in the eyes. That's the eyes are the mirror to the soul. We know that. And you might be seeing some tears as well. All right, let me take another phone call. Let's go to Vanessa in Long Beach. Hey, Vanessa, welcome to the show.
Hi, Warren. Just a quick question and comment. I have I have actually a mama and 2 baby kittens I'm trying to trap out in the front of my house.
Yeah.
And I'm looking for a place that could help me. Do they still print the press?
No, the pet press has been no. When Lori died, the pet press has not been taken over. Maybe it'd be a good idea if someone were, but the pet press has not been taken over. However, that being said, if you go to my website, thepetshow.com, don't forget that thepetshow.com, you will in fact go and see a list of all the local rescues, organizations, and groups that you can that may be able to help you with the trapping, spay and neutering, and finding homes. So just go to thepetshow.com and you'll find some great information there.
Wonderful, thank you. And yes, very quickly, I have seen both of my cats tear up when the other one passed on.
Yeah.
So there's no question in my mind.
Listen, Vanessa.
They both didn't eat their food.
Yeah.
And I saw their eyes tear up, and at any rate, in time they went back to normal.
Yeah, but like anything else, it takes time. It takes time. It takes time for that to come over agreement. Hey, listen, Vanessa, I got to move on. I'm not going to say anything because I know you call often. But
Okay.
what I'll do, I'll donate your gift to a local rescue. 866-870 KRLA, the phone number 866-870-5752. Years ago, I served on the board of directors for the oldest no-kill shelter in the entire country. It's called the Bidewee Home, based in New York. They have cemeteries in the Hamptons, cemeteries in Montauk, Long Island. They have locations in Midtown Manhattan as well. I'm right now. I live in here for 25 years, so I'm still on their board, but emeritus. Great organization. But I remember years ago giving a lecture to literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, talking about the concept of dogs being sad and cats being sad and tears in their eyes when they lost a loved one, whether that loved one walked upright or whether it was a human that didn't or a pet that didn't walk upright. So it made no difference. So I don't know why we always believe, and I get in trouble when I say this, and just hear me out on this one. Why we believe that we're so much superior than dogs and cats? When was the last time a dog or cat started a war? 866-870 KRLA, the phone number. Let's go to Anna Sunland. Hey, Anna, welcome to the Pet Show.
Oh, thank you. Okay, quickly, of course they cry, maybe not tears or voice like us, but they howl, they break my heart. They also get happy, of course. But let me tell you quickly, my boss has a doggy, it's a Pomeranian. She looks at the camera. It's a four split views of the yard, and at night she sees the light or the car of her owner come in, and she runs to the door. I mean, I didn't even know that a dog could see a detail like that in a black and white camera and know what's up. So they're so smart. But I hear you complaining about people walking dogs in the middle of the sunny day, and it's been hot here in Los Angeles. I'm in the valley, hotter than hot, and I drive around screaming at people, it's too hot to walk your dog. At least I hope they learn. But
I hope so. I hope so too, Anna.
How many dogs I found in cars left alone, and I stayed. I didn't leave until the owners came, and sweetly, politely, I told them, don't leave them alone. They can steal them. They can get sick.
You're much, Anna.
So,
you're much nicer than me, because I wound up.
Well,
I wound up.
I don't want to be jumped. But another thing is, my cats. I gave them the drops, the expensive ones. They were scratching. I saw two little fleas on one that's white. The other ones are gray and tabby dark, so I cannot see them. But I told your screener. Then I gave them 2 baths because they continue to scratch them. And I found 2 fleas today in one of them, and nothing
Listen,
worked.
listen, the fleas, the fleas are coming from not only the cats, the fleas are coming from the environment. You got to treat the environment at the same time you treat the cat. But you're doing good. You're following the vet's advice. So let me do this, okay? I know you've called a few times, Anna, but I'm going to send you some all-natural herbal flea spray. Use that on the cats. Follow directions carefully, but I also want you to spray in the areas where the cats tend to hang out. And also remember, you can buy a flea comb. That's what I use on my own, guys. A flea comb that will take the fleas off, the flea eggs off, and that would be the best way to. I got to move on. I'm going to put you on hold. I'm sending you some all-natural herbal flea spray. Brand new this week, I'm giving away herbal flea sprays. Plenty of time for your calls. Lots of great stuff to give away. We're going to get to Joseph, Jack, and Audrey. The phone number 866-870 KRLA. 866-870-5752. Plenty of time for your calls. Lots of great stuff to give away. If you want to ask a question or watch the face behind the mic, I'm live on YouTube right now. YouTube.com/Warren Eckstein. YouTube.com/Warren Eckstein. Let me take a quick break before Alex throws something at me. You hear me And we are back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is it, folks. America's first and only real pet psychology, training, behavior, lifestyle show. Got a question or comment about your pet? Great time to give me a call. The phone number, 866-870-KRLA. I got some Lucy pet food to give away. I haven't given away any Lucy pet food today, or hugs and kisses, or hemp seed oil, or kitty licky, so it's a great time to call me, 866-870-KRLA. The question of the day is, do you believe that animals can cry? Joseph, Jack, Audrey, I'll get right to you, but let me just share this with you. Just like you, your dog may tear up when you're reunited. This is a brand new study. Researchers found that dogs produce tears when they saw their owners after spending hours apart, and that the behavior may be related to the release of bonding hormone oxytocin. Dogs may have a greater attachment to their owners than we previously thought. This from the head behaviorist at Cornell University, a place I know pretty well. Dogs parted from their owners behave very much like children separated from their mothers. So do dogs cry? Do cats cry? Animals cry? You bet they do. And those people that think they don't, I just don't think they have an expansive enough attitude to get over the fact that humans are perfect and animals aren't. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number, 866-870-5752. Plenty of time for your calls. Lots of great stuff to give away on this show. Coming up, I'm going to talk a little bit about anesthesia. Is it safe for your dogs or cats when you're having their teeth cleaned? And it's important to have those teeth cleaned. Also coming up, our ability to understand the feeling that our dogs have in terms of a special bond they have with us. It may be good for us, but is in fact good for the dogs. We'll talk about that. 866-870-KRLA. KRLA, the phone number, 866-870-575. So let me just throw this out here, and then I'll get right to the phones. You know, our dog's ability to understand how we're feeling is one of the reasons we have such an incredibly special bond with them. But it's also something that dog guardians need to be aware of in order to set our dogs up for success. Our emotions and body language can have an effect on our dog's behavior, for better or for worse. I want you to think about that. And if you have any questions or comments, I'd love you to give me a call, 866-870-5752. Let me go to, I'll get to you in a second, Joseph. I'm going to get to you, Jack. I definitely want to get to your call, Jack. But let me go to Audrey right now, calling. Hey, Audrey, welcome to the Pet Show.
Hi, Warren. First of all, I want to thank you. I talked to you last week, of course, donate a gift in memory of my little granddog. Yeah. We talked about Bella, and she took a turn for the worse. I'm so sorry. So last Tuesday, she went to the Rainbow Bridge. And what I wanted to know, and it was really great because all three grandparents were with her, and of course her parents. What I want to know from you is, I want to contribute to a charity in her memory. What charity would you recommend, please?
Okay. I'll tell you the charity I recommend. I'm recommending my own charity. Okay? Hugs and Kisses Animal Fund. I don't talk about it much here on the show. My Hugs and Kisses Animal Fund is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. I started the Hugs and Kisses Animal Fund after my first wife passed away in 1990. Faye had worked alongside of me, saving thousands of dogs and cats. So when she passed away, I said, what way can I honor her? And I set up the Hugs and Kisses Animal Fund specifically to do that. We have now been able to donate money to organizations that other places don't even know exist. I'm talking about the small mom and pops in Iowa, Nebraska, parts of Long Island, the South, all over. We have now donated to every single state in the country. So the Hugs and Kisses Animal Fund, we don't give big donations, but we give small donations. That's exactly what the small animal shelters need. You know, 500 to this one, 1,000 to this one, 2,000 to that one, and they can do what they need to do. I mean, some of the organizations say, Warren, you know, you sent us $500. We were able to fix our van. Now we can take our dogs and cats to have them spayed and neutered. Before that, we were unable to do that. Those are the type of groups Hugs and Kisses Animal Fund hangs out. So what I can do is two things. Number one, you can go to the Hugs and Kisses website, hugsandkissesanimalfund.org, hugsandkissesanimalfund.org. As I said, this is my own nonprofit. I guess I maybe should talk about it a little bit more because so many of my listeners are involved in helping the small mom and pop organizations, and that's exactly what we do. So hugsandkissesanimalfund.org, or if you prefer, Audrey, and I know you will, I'm going to put you on hold, and I want you to speak to Suzette. Give Suzette your phone number, and then I'll have someone from the organization give you a call. How's that?
that would be fine. They would give me the address of where to mail, how to do it, and everything.
They'll give you all, and my heart goes out to you. I know a lot of people don't understand, but sometimes you have to. There was a segment on Everyone Loves Raymond, one of my favorite shows. I don't know why, but it is, okay. And Raymond was talking about, they were at the wedding, and the wedding went really horrible. And Raymond said something to the effect of, "Forget about the bad stuff. Editing. That's what it's all about." And I also recommend that to people when they lose a dog or cat. The end is very, very sad very often, but try to remember the good times. You can be sad, that's normal, but try to remember the good times and edit out some of the bad. I think that would help you an awful lot, Audrey.
Thank you, Warren. So I'm going to give Suzette my phone number then?
Give Suzette your phone number, and I will have someone give you a call, and we will talk to you and tell you how to donate. And by the way, if anyone else wants to find out...
Thank you for all you've done for her.
No, I thank you for... I just thank you for your compassion. I've known you for a long time now, and I thank you for your compassion to the animals that you've had, and give the family a big hug and a kiss for me.
Thank you, Warren. You're wonderful. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you, too. Okay, I'm going to put you on hold. Suzette will pick up. Suzette, just get the information, and that would be important, God. I've been on the air with you guys now for just about 41 years. I just celebrated my 40 last year. Remember, we talked about that. And so many of you have been listening to this show for years and years and years and years. So you're not my listeners. I don't consider anyone my listener. I consider you guys my friends. We're talking about something we have in common. We love our dogs. We love our cats. We love animals. We want to do everything to help them out. And bless you guys for doing that. There's nothing I've ever asked you to do. You guys have adopted 3-legged dogs, 1-ear dogs, 1-eye dogs, 12-year-old dogs, all because I talked about it on the air. You're not my listeners. You're my friends. Remember that. Phone number here, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Let me do this. Let me take a break. When we come back, I want to talk to Joseph in El Segundo. I definitely want to get to Jack in Los Angeles. And Bruce, I want to get to you as well. Great time to give me a call, 866-870 KRLA. I know that somebody, I think Bruce is going to talk about whether dogs cry or not. Do you believe that animals cry? I do. Give me a call. Let me know. I will definitely send a great gift for you. And again, Audrey, my heart goes out to your entire family and anyone who's recently had to say that final goodbye as the dog crosses the Rainbow Bridge. But the most important thing you can do, folks, and I did a lot of bereavement counseling in New York at the AMC, is to remember the good times and understand that grieving is okay and grieving is normal. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. A quick break, then right back to your phone calls. Great time to give me a call. Lots of great stuff to give away. Speaking about Ah, man, it is so cool to be a cat. We are back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. Phone number 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Coming up, we're going to talk a little bit about your dog's teeth. And whether or not so many people are concerned about anesthesia. Is it safe or is it not safe? I'll be talking about that a little bit later. But if you want to see it in a little more depth, go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein, where, by the way, you can see the face right now. I'm talking to you right now. Hello, YouTube. youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. The phone number here, 866-870-KRLA. We are going to, God, you know what? Let me go to Jack first, then I'm going to come to you, Joseph. But Jack has, I want to get to Jack right away. Hey, Jack, welcome to the Pet Show.
Hi, can you hear me?
Absolutely, like you're right next to me. What's up, Jack?
Well, it's a little bit of a long story. I've been rescuing dogs for many, many years, and the first two were big dogs. One passed away, so then we rescued a little Beagle Terrier mix to be with my remaining big dog, and then the big dog passed away, and I rescued a Terrier mix, and his name is Kobe, and the other one was Nola, a female. They became soulmates. They slept together, they wrestled, they ate together, they wouldn't be separated. But then, unfortunately, Nola got cancer, and we tried therapy, but she eventually succumbed.
I'm so sorry to hear
but
that.
Kobe, now, we rescued a little Chihuahua mix. She's a Chiweenie, and to keep him company, and they just sort of tolerate each other. He doesn't play.
All right, Jack, let me just stop you for a second. I don't want to run out of time, okay? So the dog that the other dog was really bonded to passed away. So then there was one dog left. Then you went out and got another dog, and the other dog and the dog that pre-existed the new dog are tolerating each other, but they're not bosom buddies yet. Is that the question?
Yes, and it's been 3 or 4 years already, and he just mopes around.
How often do you walk them, or do they go in the backyard?
Oh, they have a doggy door, so they go in the backyard.
That's not my point. That's not my point. My point is, how often do you take them out of the environment where they both live?
Well, I walk them in the morning and in the evening.
Okay, so you do take them on walks together. I was trying to find that out. And when you take them for walks together, do they react? Do they react like they're friendly at that point with each other, or like each other?
They don't. They sort of don't pay attention to each other.
Any aggression? Any aggression?
No.
Okay, so it may just be. I have friends that are married that act like that. Okay, I'll be honest with you. But to all joking aside, there are certain times that they accept each other. I'm sure they have a certain incredibly positive relationship with each other, but it's not that same type of bonding that the other two dogs had. You can't force that situation. What you can do is put them in situations where they can kind of play together. If you're tossing a ball in the backyard, toss 3 at the same time. If you're taking them for a walk them in different locations so they're kind of focused on what's going around them, and then they're focused on each other because it's a new area and something positive's happening. Dogs learn through association. I talked about this in depth last week, and the concept is that if you give them different places to reestablish a relationship, very often that's enough. Just like people that are married have to go on vacation to reestablish. Take them to a different location, give them ample opportunity. But in the meantime,
we take them to our house in Las Vegas.
That's okay, Jack. That's okay. That's fine. That's okay that they can go to the house in Las Vegas. But on a regular basis, if you normally walk them around one neighborhood, try to walk them around another neighborhood. And they may never establish a better relationship than they already have. But as long as the relationship's not aggressive and they're tolerating each other, and you follow my advice, I think you'll pretty much be on target.
Yeah, so you wouldn't give him an antidepressant or anything like that.
Why is he eating?
He's eating fine, yeah.
Does he pee and poop outside?
Yeah, he pees and poops outside.
Well, Jack, maybe the antidepressant should be given to you from your doctor. Doesn't sound to me like the dog needs an antidepressant. No, leave well enough alone. I'm telling you, it's going to make just let them work it out. If this is the way they decided to keep it, this is the way they decide to keep it. I got to move on. I'm going to put you on hold, and I am going to send you. You know what? I am going to send you some. some Lucy pet food for them. That'll keep them bonding together. Hey, great time to give me a call. I'm going to take a break. Got a whole other hour to go. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number, 866-870-5752. Now, I want you to listen carefully because I'm going to do this once, this week only. We're having an incredible Labor Day sale at my website, so please listen up. You know, your wait is over. Our Labor Day sale at thepetshow.com is live now, right now. Thepetshow.com. I can't remember when we've had a sale on so much. And we are back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. Here's the deal. I'm going to try to get a call or two in here, but we got a whole other hour to go. We can take a short break at the top of the hour. Then we have a whole other hour to go. I'll be talking to you about anesthesia. Is it safe or not for your dog's teeth? We'll talk about that. Plenty of time to answer all of your pet and animal questions and lots of great stuff to give away. So write this number down. If you're driving around, you can give me a call after the top of the hour at 866-870-KRLA. But right now, let me see if I can help out Bruce and then Joseph. Hey, Bruce, welcome to the show.
Thanks for taking my call, Dr. Eckstein.
You can call me Warren, Bruce. That's okay, but how can I help you?
Yes. two things. I do believe that dogs cry. Years ago, I had two German Shorthair pointers, and they were sister and brother. And one of them, they both got out of my yard, and one of them got hit by a car. The other one came back, and for 3 days, about 3 days, the one that survived cried because he probably saw the whole thing, and he cried. I mean, he literally had tears in his eyes for about 3 days.
And listen, you're preaching to the choir here. I believe you 100% there, Bruce.
Yeah. So that's my point about the dogs crying. But I have a question. I have a poodle pointer that's about 6 months old, female. What a great dog. But my question is, when's the best time to have them spayed? Because information on the internet is kind of all over the map.
Bruce, how old did you say the dog is now?
She's 7 months.
Done. Have it done.
Have it done now?
Yeah. In other words, what type of dog did you say it was?
She's a poodle pointer.
Okay. And how big is she expected to get?
About 50 pounds. No, I'm sorry, about 70 pounds.
Yeah, in other words, some veterinarians like to wait with larger dogs until they fully mature, but I would speak to your vet, but I think 7 months old is probably a good age to have her spayed at this point.
Okay.
Hey, Bruce, don't go anywhere. I got to move on. I'm going to put you on hold, though. I'm going to send you one of my most expensive gifts. I'm sending you a jar of my Hugs and Kisses vitamin mineral supplement treats for your best friend. Keep her healthy and keep her happy. All right, here's the deal. I hate to do this, but we're going to break for the top of the hour. But Lydia, George, I promise you, it'll be a short break. When we come back, plenty of time to answer your questions. I got Hugs and Kisses to give away. I got Lucy Pet Food to give away, Author Sue Gold, copies of my books, all natural herbal flea spray. So we got lots of great stuff to give away. The phone number, 866-870-KRLA. And coming up in the next hour, I'm going to start with this probably, is, I get this all the time. Warren, my dog needs to have her teeth cleaned, but we have to put her under anesthesia. I'm so nervous. Is it safe to anesthetize the dog to have the teeth cleaned? We're going to talk about that. As always, plenty of time to answer all of your pet and animal questions. And I'd like to hear from more people, because for years, people would say to me, Warren, it's crazy. Animals don't cry. Only humans cry. Well, you just heard Bruce talk about his dog crying. You heard me talk about visualizing my dogs crying. You heard a couple of other people talk about their pets crying. Do you believe animals can cry? Give me a call. I'd love to hear from you. And maybe once and for all, we can take these naysayers and prove to them that animals have a lot more emotions than we've given them credit for over the years. The phone number, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Check out the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. The phones are jamming. Don't go anywhere. A quick break, then right back to your calls. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is The Pet Show. And welcome. This is it. I'm Warren Eckstein. You're listening to The Pet Show, America's first and only real pet psychology, pet training, behavior, and of course, pet lifestyle show. The phones are jamming. We're going to get to Joseph, Lydia, George, Penelope, Crispy. We've got all your calls. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Question of the day, do you believe that animals can cry? Before we get to the phone lines, though, let me just do this. I constantly have people asking me, and I question myself about the safety of anesthesia when having their dog or cat's teeth cleaned. There's no anesthetic procedure, medication, or even natural remedy that can give you a 100% guarantee of safety. Just doesn't exist. But the anesthesia protocols veterinarians use now with their dogs and cats have substantially reduced the risks, even with pets who are seniors or in fact have chronic illnesses. If your dog or cat is going to have their teeth cleaned and they're going to have to be under anesthesia, and you can't clean them as thoroughly without that, they use a Cavitron, the same thing your dentist uses with you. What the veterinarian generally does, and if he doesn't do this, maybe you should question it, is do a complete blood workup, a complete examination, making sure that that dog or cat is as healthy as they possibly can be. About a year and a half ago, I rescued Molly and Willie. Their teeth were in horrible situations. I had to have them anesthetized and have their teeth cleaned as well, and it worked out fine. And I would say that 99% of the time, as I said, there's no 100% guarantee. But look at the other side. Bad teeth are not only a problem with bad breath. Bad teeth and periodontal disease, which, by the way, 85% of dogs or cats will develop by the time they're 3 years old, can cause all kinds of problems, get into the bloodstream and cause infections, a loss of teeth, a loss of appetite, even death. So having the teeth cleaned, doing it on a regular basis, brushing is great, but I think you should speak to your vet. Dogs are constantly licking themselves, and cats are constantly grooming themselves. Where do you think all that hair goes? It's not always in hairballs. It gets under the teeth, under the gums, and it starts to rot out, which can cause problems. So here's my feeling. If you have a lot of confidence in the vet you're using, if he's taken or she's taken the time to examine the dog or cat thoroughly, taken blood tests, whatever, and you have a lot of confidence in that veterinarian, then I think it's okay. I think you can trust the anesthesia that's being used nowadays. I know I do. Hey, the phone number here, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Let me get right back to the busy phone lines here. Let me go to, who's up first here? Let's go to, great calls. I don't even know where to go. Let me go to Joseph in El Segundo. He's called a few times. Hey, Joseph, welcome to the show.
I believe that the cats do cry and the dogs cry. I've seen them. You know what I mean? I've seen the little squinting of the eye, the change of the atmosphere in their face. You follow me?
I agree with you. I don't only follow you. I agree with you. So what's your question?
People say to me, "Oh, the cat doesn't have any feelings. He's independent. The dog is more dependent, but they don't have those emotions."
Those people don't have those feelings or emotions. Anyway,
that's right. I like animals better than people, by the way.
Well, there you go. So, Joseph, what's your question for me, Joseph? I don't want to run out of time.
No, I'm agreeing with you. And the other thing is I have a dog that I've rescued from the streets. He's about 12 now. How do I get him teeth cleaning? Is it worth it? Is it, the gum line doesn't look bad, but is it something to worry about? They're probably going to need 10 extractions or 5 extractions. Is it worth doing that? Does it hurt the bite of the animal?
Yeah, you're asking me to diagnose your dog's mouth without seeing it. If you're telling me he's got 9 or 10 teeth that got to be removed, then you need to get to a veterinarian and have him check out the.
No, I was estimating. Let's say out of the.
Even if it's one, even if it's one, they're not going to pull his tooth without anesthesia, right? It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So what you need to do what I would do is, Joseph, is I would get the dog to the vet. Bless you for being concerned about him, but if let the vet let him examine the mouth, let him see what's going on. Maybe it's just he doesn't need a deep cleaning, but probably he does if he's got teeth that may have to come out. So I think I would have that conversation with your vet at this point, Joseph.
Yeah, they need a senior panel blood thing. That's what they got.
Well, that's what. Listen, I got to move on, and I know I've sent you something recently, but I want you to speak to your vet and have that taken care of. If the dog, obviously, or the cat, obviously, and you can smell bad breath, but bad breath isn't always the. It could be bad breath could mean there's something else going on. It could be a stomach problem. It could be an esophagus problem. Who knows? But anyway, in terms of teeth cleaning, I say do it. I say do it. If the dog is healthy enough, I would definitely say go ahead and do it. All right, let's go to where are we going right now? Let's go to Penelope. Then we'll go to Lydia. We got Christy. We got George. But right now it's Penelope in San Pedro. Hey, Penelope, welcome to the show.
Hi, Warren. My dog is a pit bull mixed with shepherd, and
it's one of those blended breeds.
Yes. And she's 15 years old. She'll be 16 in February.
Wow.
But all of a sudden, she started crying. I mean, she goes so deep. It's like it's everything inside of her cries. She's literally crying. It's way deep down.
All right,
a couple of things.
A couple of things right off the bat. Okay, number one, you said the dog is 15 years old. Okay.
15.
So there's dementia sets in, number one. Number two, I mean, if the dog is all of a sudden starting to cry, then there's obviously something that's really. When you say cry, we're not just talking about tears. You're talking about whining and crying, correct?
Deep cry.
Okay, so then at 16 years old, there's something that's making the dog really uncomfortable. Whether it's just age, whether it's dementia, whether it's a physiological problem, whatever it is, it is. But you have to deal with it. If it was just a behavioral issue, then yeah, I can deal with it. Maybe the dog's going through some dementia. We'll do a little bit of this. We'll do a little bit of that. Memory work. But the thing that you need to find out is what's causing the pain. And it sounds to me from the fact that 16-year-old dog is.
This only happens when I leave. It's something new she started.
Oh, so now you tell me this. Now you tell me it only happens when you leave. That's a whole different ball game. Well, let me start another show, okay? Here's what you need to understand. Your dog is 16 years old, 15, whatever she is, probably going through some form of dementia or doggy Alzheimer's right now. The memory's not the same. So she probably what's going on is she's worried about you leaving and not coming back. There's some abandonment and separation anxiety going on here. So what you need to do is make sure that you practice at home, just going into another room for a couple of minutes and coming right back in so the dog doesn't associate you leaving with long periods of time. It's a whole different ballgame. I'm sorry I wasted time telling you what I did, but the fact that it's only taking place when you're leaving says to me it's more of a psychological behavioral separation anxiety than it is a physical problem. However, at 15 years old, I would still take her to the vet and have her checked out. But it sounds to me like it's more of a when you leave, it's anxiety, a little bit separation. So what I would do is leave her for short periods of time, increase it gradually over a period of time. But if you notice that she's crying and whining at other times when you're not leaving, then a trip to the vet is definitely warranted. But at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you on hold, and I'm going to send you as well. I'm going to send you some hemp seed calming oil. It may be beneficial for you, some hemp seed calming oil on its way to you, and I appreciate that phone call. Hey, the phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. You know, so many times people call me up here on the Pet Show and they tell me what their dog is doing wrong and it's all the dog's fault or the cat's fault. I just want to share this with you. I may have shared it with you once before, but I wrote this and it really touches me. You know, resolving pet problems has been my passion for over 50 years and counting. So where does a pet problem come from? Is it the pet? Is it the environment? Or some combination of the two? Is it perhaps from the fact that you are interpreting? You're interpreting his actions improperly and it looks like bad behavior to you. The problem in this case may be yours and not your pet's. I get this all the time. People misinterpret their dog's behavior. Let's say, for example, that the dog is all of a sudden changing a little bit of his behavior, his normal behavior. Right off the bat, people may be saying to you, well, he's growling, he's doing this or he's doing that. Well, maybe it's your behavior. Maybe you're interpreting the growling and you're not interpreting it properly. You're interpreting it as aggressive behavior when in turns what the dog is saying, listen, I don't feel good. I'm growling to let you know I don't feel good. So a lot of times interpretation go all the way. That's why I'm a big fan of trainers and behaviorists. I worked with thousands over the years, but it's really important that anyone you work with take the time to evaluate the dog or the cat that they're working with, not only by evaluating the dog or cat, but actually spending time with the family. Because what the family can tell you can make all the difference in the world. Great time to give me a call. I got lots of great stuff still to give away. 866-870 KRLA. George and Altadena, welcome to the Pet Show.
Hello.
Hi, George. How are you?
I'm well. How about yourself?
I cannot be better. What's up?
Yeah, listen, I have a small dog. I rescued him some number of years ago. She's about, I would say, 13, 14. Anyway, she's got this little a nice sized growth in her belly coming out now. I'm assuming it's a tumor. I was wondering if you could recommend maybe, is there anything I could give her to shrink it or have it surgically removed by?
Well, the first thing you have to do is have it diagnosed. Is it benign? Is it malignant? What's going on with the tumor? Is it just a fat? How old is the dog?
She's about 13.
Oh, so it's probably, it's a good chance it might just be
short hair.
It might just be a little fatty tumor. I don't know, but it's something you have to have looked at, because it could be nothing, it could be something, and chances are at 15 years old they're not going to do any major surgery. But if it's just a fatty tumor, they might just remove that. So yeah, I would run that by. I don't think it's anything to be concerned about. How long ago did it start growing?
Oh man, it's been I would say it's been growing for quite a long time, and now it's big. Of course, it started out small, and now 2-3 years now it's big, where it's bigger than the middle dog.
You run. Listen, it could be absolutely nothing. It could be something easily treated. Take it to the vet.
Okay, but can you recommend anybody in the San Fernando area or anywhere around the area that that's good at doing that surgery if she has to go under anesthesia and stuff? Anybody?
I don't generally recommend veterinarians, specific veterinary hospitals at this point. Do you have any friends that have dogs that use veterinarians they're happy with?
Yeah, I might. Yeah, I guess maybe I can check on a few of those.
That's and the other thing that I always tell people to do is if you go to your local dog park without your dog, and you spend some time just talking to the people. These people are really into their dogs. They're taking their dogs to the dog park. They're playing with the dogs. Gotcha. Very often, if you go to the local dog park, you can get some recommendations for veterinarians in your area that they've used and they feel real comfortable with.
Okay. Yeah, then I'll have her get some blood work done. But I heard what you're saying about blood work for anesthesia.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Once in a while, too, when I pick her up through the years, she'll holler. And I feel little bumps like around her stomach, maybe a little tumor growth. I'll find out when I have her x-ray.
Exactly. It's time for a checkup. Listen, don't go in there. I'm going to put you on hold. I'm sending you for your dog. I am going to send you, I'm going to send you some Orthosud Gold for your dog. Maybe at least we can do is keep those hips and joints in the best shape ever. Sometimes we hesitate. This is one of the things I've talked about before. So many people are so apprehensive about going to the veterinarian with their dog or their cat. It's a stressful experience. Listen, it's stressful for everybody. But if you can make your dog or cat more comfortable going to the vet, it will be a whole lot easier for you. And it could be life-saving for your dog or cat, because so many people hesitate and don't even bother going to the veterinarian, thinking or assuming that it's going to be such a dreadful experience. I've done entire stories and TV shows on how to assimilate your dog or cat at a veterinary hospital. Maybe we'll do that again in the future. But please don't avoid seeing your veterinarian. And if you can afford it, maybe if you can't, or you're so petrified of going to the vet, which so many people are, you can have a veterinarian come into your home and evaluate the situation. But don't not go to the vet because of your anxiety and your fear. If your dog has anxiety or fearful and he has tumors growing out of his body, maybe the vet will give you some mild sedatives to get the dog into the vet and at least make the dog feel a lot more comfortable. But we don't want to jeopardize their long-term health for that. Hey, great time to call me, 866-870 KRLA. Let me take a quick break. When we come back, we have Lydia, we have Christy, we have Lily in Santa Ana. The phones are jam-packed. I'm going to get to all your calls right after this. But right now, I want to tell you about an organization. And we are back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. You know, I got a lot of emails this week from people saying, Warren, we can't find you on Facebook. Well, there was a problem that started about 4 or 5 months ago with Facebook. Hacked, God knows what it was. But literally, here's what happened to my Facebook account. I had tens of thousands of listeners and followers. I've been doing this for a long time, and they all disappeared. They all disappeared. My Facebook page was gone. But don't worry. I'm going to give you the way you can get on my new Facebook page right now, and I want to hear from you guys. I post a lot of stuff there. My new Facebook page is this, facebook.com/Warren Pet Talk. Facebook.com/Warren Pet Talk. Thousands and thousands of you were there, and I would post all kinds of interesting stuff. It will make you laugh. It will make you cry. It will make you crazy sometimes. So if you're not a friend, send me a request to the new Facebook page. It's facebook.com/Warren Pet Talk. Facebook.com/Warren Pet Talk. All right, let me get back to the busy phone lines here. Let me go to Glendale and Lydia. Hi, Lydia. Welcome to the Pet Show.
Thanks a lot, Warren. Appreciate it. I think animals, cats and dogs, both show emotion to your emotion and stress, and that dogs do cry. And my question is, I have 3 cats. One has some issues already with stress-related grooming, but we don't have just fleas in this area, but we got also mosquitoes. Would that spray work? I wouldn't think it'd work on the stress, obviously, but the mosquitoes as well as the fleas?
That's a great question. I don't know exactly how it's going to work. The best way to get rid of mosquitoes is make sure there's no moisture around. In other words, no still water. Still water is like a motel for mosquitoes. So if there's any still water, you want to get rid of that. And you got to be worried because, mosquitoes, Lyme disease and other problems as well. I can't answer that question exactly. I'm not positive, okay? I know it works incredibly well on fleas. Whether it works on mosquitoes, I'm not sure. That you'd have to check out. But do you have a flea problem as well?
Well, the fleas, it's minute. I do use diatomaceous earth, things like that, and I comb them on once or twice a day. And the mosquitoes, I don't really know. I do a lot of the drought-tolerant stuff, so I'm not quite figuring why the mosquitoes are hanging around.
It's a great question. I don't know. I'm going to research myself because I'm not sure. Maybe someone out there knows. I don't know of an organic or a healthy way to get rid of mosquitoes without harming your pet, and maybe someone knows out there, but I don't have a specific thing. But let me know. Let's try it, and then give me a call back. I'll send you the flea spray. Okay, try it. If the mosquitoes are gone, give me a call back, and now I'll call it all natural flea and mosquito spray.
Excellent. I think that's a great idea.
Well, there you go. So don't go anywhere, Lydia. I'm going to put you on hold. The lovely Suzette's going to pick up. I'm going to send you some all-natural herbal flea spray / maybe mosquito spray. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Let's go to Norwalk and Christy. Hi, Christy. How are you?
Hi, Warren. Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
As far as the anesthesia with the cat, yes, I do, please. I'm sorry, I'm at Walmart.
That's okay.
I called you about it years ago. I have 3 cats right now, but years ago I had an Egyptian mal, Egyptian mal, and I brought her to be altered, and she passed away on the table. She was only like 2 years old. She was a rescue, and it absolutely broke my heart. We didn't even know she was an Egyptian mal until after she passed. And my vet, he felt so bad. He just felt so bad, and it was devastating to us. But come to find out, Egyptian males are very, very susceptible to getting sick or passing away from medicine or anesthesia. And after she had passed, thank you so much. Sorry. We looked it up, and we saw all her markings and everything, that they were very similar to an Egyptian mal. Come to find out, she was an Egyptian mal. And it jogged my memories when we had her shot. She would sit and cry, talking about crying. She would sit and cry on the couch for hours after her shot.
Yeah, well, I'm not 100% positive, but it's interesting that you said that. I'm very familiar with the Egyptian Mao. The Egyptian Mao, by the way, has a perfect M on top of its head. Mao is the Egyptian word for cat. Okay, that's the Egyptian Mao. So Mao they
Right.
turned into Meow over the years, but Mao, M-A-U, is the Egyptian word for cat. It's interesting, but listen, everyone can only know so much, and I don't
Right.
know, if your vet in school was well, the Egyptian Mao is this type, and this is, they know there are certain breeds of dogs, breeds with pushed in faces they're more concerned about, but I'm not sure. I'm going to research that myself. I'm not positive about that. But I'm sorry to hear, but I'm sure that before he did this, did he check the cat's blood and give him a complete workover to make sure he's healthy enough to go under anesthesia?
No, I don't think so. So.
That's what I'm talking about here. Anyway, I got to move on. When was the last time you called me?
Oh, God, maybe 5 years ago.
Oh, okay. Can I send you a T-shirt at least?
Oh, please. I have 3 cats now that.
Well, you are getting a
to Lucy, to the kitty lickies.
Oh, the kitty. You know what? Better yet, I'm putting you on hold. I'm not going to send you a T-shirt. I'm going to send you kitty lickies instead for your 3 cats that love kitty lickies. Hey, the phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Again, a reminder, my new Facebook page, I'm just starting it right now, so check it out. I'll be posting there. I'll accept your friendship, probably. It's facebook.com/Warren Pet Talk, facebook.com/Warren Pet Talk. The phone's a jam, and the phone number 866-870-KRLA. I'm going to try to go down my list, get to everyone's call. If for some reason I don't, you all know by now that when I get off the air here, my day is not over. I got to do 2 more. Not I got to, but I love to do, enjoy doing, thrilled to do 2 more hours answering your questions on my national Canadian show. So I'll give you that phone number a little bit later. But right now, the phone number here, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. And by the way, if you're looking for a new car, the Auto Trader just came out with a list of the top cars for dog lovers. By the way, according to Auto Trader, more than 85% of pet guardians think about transporting their dog when they're considering which vehicle to buy, including myself. They say the best cars: Chrysler Pacifica, Ford Bronco, Hyundai Santa Fe, Jeep Wrangler, Kia Soul, Ram ProMaster City Wagon, Subaru Outback, Tesla Model 3, Toyota Sienna, and Volvo XC60. By the way, none of which I have. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Quick break, then right back to your phone calls. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is The Pet Show. And we are back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. That number 866-870-5752, 866-870-5752. The way to go through. You're listening to me, of course, on KRLA. Did you know that living with a pet when you're over 65 may actually help you keep mentally fit as you age? So if you're getting on years, maybe a pet is the best way to keep mentally sound. 866-870-KRLA. For that lady who called up, I'm so bad with names. Please help me out. But the lady who called up was concerned about her dog and the mosquitoes. My friend Joy from Rescue Me Inc., which I sit on the board with, a great organization, Rescue Me Inc. Check them out. She recommends an all-natural product, which I've used over the years also. I just slipped my head, called Wondercide, and it's supposed to be really, really beneficial for getting rid of mosquitoes. Wondercide, all natural, so check that out. Thank you, Joy. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number, 866-870-5752. Let's go to Santa Ana and Lily. Hi, Lily. Welcome to the Pet Show.
Hi, thank you so much. I wanted to say thank you. I called before, and you sent me some Lucy pet food and snacks, and I really wanted to say thank you.
Well, you're welcome.
Thank you. My comment was something that you said earlier about dogs growling or having some kind of showing some kind of emotion, and us not interpreting her. I have a dog, Ruby. She's a rescue from a shelter, and I think in her past life she probably was kicked a lot because she does not like feet. And it took a while, but she came around, and she's the best thing that ever happened to our household. So at night, what I do is I say goodnight, and I reassure her, and I make a noise like you know, in her ear when I'm kissing her. And it sounds silly, but it's our thing.
You know, you're talking to Warren. You're talking to Warren, and nothing sounds silly. Go ahead.
But one night after doing it, I was just about to do our little ritual to say goodnight, and she growled at me. But I realized she was singing it back to me. She wasn't growling at me. She was trying to mimic the noise that I was making.
Yeah, you know, not all growls are aggressive. In fact, I did a whole seminar on sometimes a dog will growl because they're just letting you know that they're not feeling good. Not in your case, but some dogs will growl, not because they're aggressive. They're not feeling good. Something's really bothering them. So rather than become aggressive, they growl to let you know, just give me a little space at this point. It's almost like a good thing. You know, give me a little space and let me calm down a little bit. But you're absolutely 100% right. Dogs can mimic people. This is going to sound a little crazy, and before the men come and take me away, let me get it off my chest. I have seen dogs mimic laughter. I have seen dogs mimic crying. I have heard dogs mimic birds. I have heard birds mimic dogs. I've heard dogs mimic babies crying. So in other words, they are amazing animals. One of the advantages of the dogs is they are so adaptable. But you hit the nail on the head. You know, when a dog's been abused, it takes a long time. My little Willie and Molly. Willie probably weighs maybe 9 or 10 pounds. And he was so abused as a puppy, before I got him, obviously. They cut his tail without anesthesia. They cut his ears. To this day, he's a little bit hand shy. And I've been working on it for 3 years. Not nearly where it was. He still loves Pop to hug and kiss him and Mom to hug and kiss him. But sometimes when they're abused so badly for so long, it takes them a fair amount of time. People want instant gratification, but if a dog's been through that for a long period of time, sometimes it takes a while God, I hate to use this word, but it's a word I coined many years ago. Sometimes you have to untrain a dog. Over the years, I've had many times where I had to untrain a dog because of abuse it received while it was being trained originally. So it's an interesting topic. I guess I should talk about it more. But anyway, it's great that he just mimicked your sound. So that's just a way of him letting you know, or you knowing, how close he spends listening to you, or how close he is with you, being able to bond that way where he's going to mimic your sound.
Yeah, we earned her trust, and she shows us that we love, or she loves. Dogs love too. Animals love too.
That's another thing. People say, animals don't know love. You feed them, you clean up their poop. What do they know about love? Listen, I'd rather be loved by an animal than anyone that walks upright. Anyway, listen.
Animals love too.
You're absolutely. Lily, don't go anywhere. I'm going to put you on hold. You're such a lovely lady. I'm going to send you one of the most expensive things I have. I'm going to send you a jar of my own Hugs and Kisses vitamin mineral supplements. Don't let my face on a label scare you. And remember, that big Labor Day sale, I'm going to talk about it again in a little while, going on my website right now until we're out of stuff. So check it out, thepetshow.com, thepetshow.com. Great sale going on there. Check it out. Let me take another phone call. Let's see. Yeah, let's go to Jeff in Laguna Woods. Hey, Jeff, welcome to the show.
Hey, Warren. How are you?
I'm doing great.
I have a 16-year-old toy poodle, and unfortunately, she's deaf now, and she's recently went blind. So, otherwise, she's kind of doing okay. It's just like, but she's disoriented a lot of times.
Yeah, it's not an easy task when they lose both their sight and when they lose both their hearing ability, but their sense of smell is still really, really strong. So one of the things I would do is in the areas where she used to walk comfortably, maybe down a hallway or whatever, I would just put her treats in a line there. Let her just follow that line where the treats are, and eventually she'll stay in that line. That's number one. Number two, over the years, I've lived with many dogs that were both blind and deaf, and what I did is I used vibration. I used a stick. How did I use the stick? Come on, let me explain that. What I would do is I would just stamp the stick maybe once on the floor. The dog would learn to come to me, or maybe twice on the floor to stay. You're not going to get a perfect response, but you will get some response, and therefore that would make a big difference for you. Is she totally deaf at this point, totally blind?
Totally, yes.
Totally blind, too?
She had totally blind, too. She could see shadows up to maybe a month ago. Now
I was going to say a high-intensity flashlight would work, but if she's totally blind, then I think the best thing for you is the vibration. Start out very low, very soft, very gradual, just tapping a little bit, giving her a half hour of praise afterwards, and little by little. And bless you for being so concerned, Jeff. You absolutely, my listeners absolutely amaze me. Some people, 15-year-old dog, blind and deaf. No, you're concerned. You want her to live whatever time she has left happily, confident, and secure. Yeah. And I think you're doing everything you can do possibly. Yeah. Try the vibration, see if that doesn't work for you.
Walks along and she's, of course, she urinates all over the place, and that's another problem. But she'll walk along and she'll nudge the wall. She'll sense another wall.
Well, the other thing you might want to do is whenever a dog goes...
She turns around, walks the other way.
Yeah, whenever a dog goes blind, one of the things I also recommend that people do is they can line the hallways with paper, like boxes. So when she bounces into something, it's very soft. And this way you can actually, as I said with the food, but you can make those alleys with the boxes on the side and the food in the middle. She will gain that confidence. She's a little, obviously she's a little dementia going on here, but she will gain that confidence. And even if she did bump into something, it would be a cardboard box. So that would be my recommendation for you.
Okay, yeah.
In terms of,
she's that age, and we're just wondering, as long as she's still physically fit, it's like, when do we have to really... take her to...
I always tell people, Jeff, that the eyes are the mirror to the soul. You look in the eyes. In your case, you can't do that. You have a blind dog. What I would do, and again, please make me cry. What I would do, and I've had to do this many times, is sit down with the dog. And what's your dog's name?
Her name is Bailey.
I would say, Bailey, you may not hear me, but she hears you. You have your hands on her at that time. You say, Bailey, you let me know when it's time for you to cross the bridge. It's going to be your decision. You let me know, and she will let you know. In terms of the peeing in the house, you know what? My mother had an older dog that lost control, and for a year and a half, my mother walked around her house on Long Island with a bucket in one hand and a mop in the other hand, cleaning up after the dog. She wasn't going to let the dog go just because it had accidents.
We have weep pads all over the place.
There you go. Anyway, Jeff, I'm trying to think of what I want to send you. Give her a hug and a kiss. I don't know what I'm going to send you. I don't want to send you any food for her at this point. I can send you a T-shirt.
I just want to ask you one more thing.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Because is it? I just realized, or just thought about it. She walks around. She doesn't really respond too well to us now. But do you think it's a good idea to pick her up more often and hold her?
Has she always loved to be? Has she always loved to be held?
Actually, no. She was.
So rather than pick her up, why don't you get down on the floor and cuddle her that way?
Yeah, okay.
I think she'll feel more secure.
Well, okay, thank you.
No, listen, thank you for being so concerned, Jeff. You people always amaze me. I don't want to send you any food or anything, but you know what? I can send you a T-shirt, Lisa. Let me put you on hold, send you a T-shirt that says, "None of my friends walk upright." By the way, those T-shirts are available at thepetshow.com, thepetshow.com. God, it's so hard, it's so hard because we've all gone through that. All my listeners have had dogs and cats probably for many years, and saying that final goodbye is never easy. Some people really need, maybe I should do another bereavement counseling class. I don't know, I just don't have more time. That's what I need, more time. But you guys absolutely amaze me, and you reinforce the fact to so many of my listeners, not only on this show, but all across the country and Canada, you reinforce the fact that it's okay to love your pets as much as you love people. It's okay. It's not bad. It's not right for everybody. Some people think I'm eccentric or you're eccentric. But as far as I'm concerned, I believe it's okay to love your pets as much as your people. And the reason for that is, just think about this. Who gives you more trouble in the years that you've lived with them? There's your answer. Love your dogs and cats. 866-870-KRLA. Jeff, Monica, Karen, don't go anywhere. Quick break, then right back to all of your phone calls. And I'll give you that phone number for the network show in a little bit as well. When it comes to feeding your pet, Little box boogie. We are back on the Pet Show. I'm going to get to you, Paul. I'm going to get to you, Monica. I'm going to get to you, Karen. But let me give you the phone number in case you're driving around. Here's the phone number for my national Canadian show that starts at 1 o'clock. Write this number down. Don't start calling till 1. It's the same type of show. I give away the same type of gifts. The only difference, it's all over the United States, Canada, even in Guam. So write this number down, but don't start calling till 1. If you're driving around, you got questions about your pets, 877-725-8255. 877-725-8255. I'll give you that again in a little bit. But right now, let me go to Monica, Paul, and Karen. Hey, Monica, welcome to the Pet Show.
Hi, Warren. I want to thank you for finding my little black lab that didn't have a good home.
Yeah, tell the story. Now, I want my listener to tell the story a little bit, how we got involved and what happened here.
Okay, well, actually, I listened to Coast to Coast on your radio. I think it's your radio program. Yeah, whatever. And it was like, it's been like an alcoholic situation where I've been obsessed with his dog, and he's a really good. We're having a lot of trouble hearing you. Are you on a cell phone? I'm on a cell phone, and I'll try to stay close. Do you hear me now?
A little bit better. Try again.
Okay. So anyway, my good friend, his boss gave him this little baby dog.
Monica? Are you on Bluetooth?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
My cell phone has been pretty bad for a while. Okay. Yeah, like almost week.
So let me see if I can guide you through this, okay? Because we're having a little difficulty hearing you. So here's the scenario. You called up and told me the story about someone you knew that had a Labrador that had a Labrador puppy that was how old?
6 weeks.
And 6 weeks old, and he couldn't take care of it properly, so he wanted to find another home for it. Am I right so far?
Yep.
And I told you about a guy that works here, an amazing guy, my good friend Scott, and he was looking for a dog for his amazing family. And then my friend Joy kind of hooked you all up together. And so, what was the end result?
The end result is that he went and saw it, and his family fell in love with it, and now he's got a new home, and I've got some pictures. I told him to send me pictures every couple months, and he's already training it to, with the little nibble.
Well, so then you could rest assured now that Scott has this young 6 or 7 or 8 week old puppy that I'll be hearing from Scott a whole lot more. You can rest assured on that, Alex, as well. Well, first of all, Monica, thank you so much for letting me know about it. Without you, I never would have been able to pull this off. Without Joy, I never would have been able to pull this off. But we found this is unusual. This is an easy one. We found a home for a 6 week or a 7 week old puppy. The tough ones are when we find a home for a 15-year-old dog with one eye and 3 legs. And people have rescued right off this very show. People have saved 3-legged dogs, 1-eyed dogs, 1-eared dogs. My listeners are by far the most amazing people in the world. I get the accolades. Oh, you do a great show, Warren. It's not me. It's you, the listeners, that make this show successful based on the fact of the loving things you do on a regular basis. Monica, I know we're having trouble hearing you. Stay in touch. I'm going to put you on hold. I'm sending you a T-shirt that says, "None of my friends walk upright," but I want you to, give Denise or give me a call during the weekend. We'll find out a little bit more information. But I'm sure the first time the dog pees on Scott's shoe, I'll be getting a call from Scott. All right, let me do this. Let me take a final break. We'll try to get Paul and Karen when we come back. The phone number, again, for the network show, and that's 1 o'clock. You can start calling at 1, not before, 877-725-8255. But now, I really want you all to listen. Here's why. We really are able to do a sale on my website, The Pet And we are back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. Try to get to you, Karen and Paul. Just a reminder, the network show starts at 1 o'clock. Write this number down. Be patient. Let the phone ring. They will eventually get to you, I promise. It goes into Washington, D.C., Radio America, Armed Forces Radio. Write this down. This is the number to start calling at 1-877-725-8255, 877-725-8255. Hey, Karen in San Diego, welcome to the Pet Show.
Oh, hi, Warren. Can you hear me?
Absolutely. Like you're right next to me, Karen.
Okay. Yeah, just real quick. I have some clients that are elderly, senior, probably close to 90. They lost their senior golden retriever 2 years ago, and the husband was hell-bent on getting another one from the same breeder. He went back east, got a puppy, brought it back to Santa Monica where they live, and after realizing the dog as it was growing, he was falling trying to take the dog for exercise or walks.
Yeah.
Fast forward to June, I went to their house for some work, contracting work, and the dog is basically a prisoner in the house. It lives with a leash because neither one can control the dog. They don't take it out for walks because they can't, because the dog is too, too.
Do they realize?
The
Do they
dog-
realize the type of abuse they're giving this dog?
Thank you. I did say to the husband, because the dog, I said, can I see the dog? Because I was already worried. They've had neighbors tell them that they're being abusive to the dog, that they should give the dog away.
But here's the scenario. I don't want to run out of time, so let me jump in here.
Yeah.
Number one, as far as I'm concerned, not being able to take care of a dog properly or a cat properly is abusive. In other words, if you have first of all, someone in their 90s, someone in their 80s, or someone in their 70s should not be adopting a puppy. I just had a discussion with someone in my neighborhood. They adopted he just went out and adopted he actually purchased a Labrador Retriever. He's about my age. What's going to happen to the dog when something happens to him or he gets, God knows. So in other words, seniors, do me a favor. I love seniors. I'm one of you guys. Adopt senior dogs. Those are the ones that are desperate. The puppies will find homes. It's the senior dogs. The dogs over 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 11, 12, those are the one needs home. But here's the bottom line. Legally, there's nothing they're doing that is against the law.
I know. I already called I already called West LA Humane Society, and they said it's not good, but there's nothing we can legally do because it's considered property.
Are
So
they that's changing. Those laws are changing. There's a lot of states now where they're considered sentient beings. So the laws are changing. Is there any way to talk to this guy and convince him that he's not being fair to the dog, or is he just so set in his ways?
I said was, just quickly, because the dog was all over itself. I think it lives in their master bedroom. That's about it. And so it was all over me and all out of control. And I said to the husband, I said, Steve, if you allowed Willow to go running or playing or take her for walks, she wouldn't be acting out like this. And he looked at me, then looked down and said, you're probably right. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to send them 3 different dog walking services and see if they have the funds to do it, Warren. They live in Mandeville Canyon in a beautiful home.
I'm running out of time here, but anyway, I wish I could go over and look at the dog. Anyway, but thank you, Karen, for being so concerned. Can you do me a favor? You have my email is mail@thepetshow.com. Just mail@thepetshow.com. Keep me posted, will you?
Okay. I will. Thank you.
I wish I had a better answer for you. I'm going to put you on hold. At least I'm going to do is send you a T-shirt. I appreciate the phone call. I'm not going to get to your call, Paul, but if you want to call the network show or anybody else wants to call the network show, write this number down now. The show starts exactly in a minute, but remember, let the phone ring. It's got to go to Washington, D.C. Let it ring, ring, ring. We will get to your call. So write this number down. You can start calling in exactly 60 seconds. 877-725-8255. 877-725-8255. Until next week, though, I got to tell you to give all of your dogs and cats a big hug and a kiss for you and a special one between the ears for me. I'm Warren Eckstein, and thank you for listening to The Pet Show.